All right, folks, here we go. This is not the Mr. Josh podcast, but we're definitely going to be doing um, a weekly, and I'll be chiming in more betting, fantasy, and betting advice, fantasy advice, and whatnot. 44 years old, had a lot of chalk in the game, a lot of skin in the game. Been gambling since I'm a young man. My father was a gambler. I'm not as much of a Vegas style table gambler, but what I am is a sports bettor. I am going to start giving you my perceptions and what I think, and we'll go through some of this. And we're going to go through it pretty quickly. It's 11 o'clock on Sunday already, Eastern Standard Time. Already one game in the books. I wasn't able to get to this before that. You saw a very shitty defensive battle between the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears. And the takeaway from that game basically was, A, it seems like Green Bay has a defense. B, we know Chicago has a defense. C, maybe preseason matters in some way because that was a throwaway game. That was as bad as any preseason game. Not time to worry about Mitch Trubisky, but one game in the books didn't look that great. Hit Allen Robinson on a ton of balls, but doesn't seem like there's really anybody else. They definitely need Trey Burton back. So they definitely need their tight end situation shored up. He was very good, so they missed him. David Montgomery looked pretty good, broke some tackles, had that one big catch, really nice, smooth reception down the field. Got to get him more of those. Nothing. I don't think either team can come out of that game too excited, other than the fact that the Bears. Well, for the Packers, it's a division win. So that's the biggest thing that comes out of this is you took a division team down, and it's going to come down to the end of the year with this with that particular division. We're going to go over a bunch of stuff. So just so you know what I have up now, I've got the lines up through Vegas Insider. We're going to go over what you see here were the against the spread standings for the teams last year and how hard that is to pinpoint. Team stats, offensive and defensive team stats we're going to talk about from last year. We got the depth charts. Last year's standings. The breakdown of the divisions, which we can do from last year's standings. I just wanted to have that there. The 2018 stat leaders. Your over-under on season win totals. I believe that's also more of those with DraftKings and FanDuel, if you want to bet on those season win totals. The over-under totals, also very hard to predict, extremely hard to predict. And there's a Screenomatic, okay, which is what's recording this right now. You're watching this video. Listen, I do have an Instagram. It's MrJoshW. I have a Twitter. It's MrJoshW. I do a podcast. It's the Mr. Josh Podcast, TheMisterJoshPodcast.com. You can go right to it. You find it on iTunes. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on Stitcher. YouTube videos as well. Just put in Mr. Josh W. I have all my podcasts are broken down. Well, they're not all broken down by clip. I still have to do that. But they're all up. And I have interviews from Exotica and some fun stuff. And we're going to be doing a lot more. I kind of work 2 to 3 jobs. Not because I want to, because I have to. Actually, not because I have to, because I want to. You can see my work on sfl.media and videogod.com. I do writing on that as well. I am a Giants fan, and I'm embarrassed to say a Raiders fan. Where's the autograph? I got the Lawrence Taylor autograph on here when he used to come into Porky's. Anyways, so that's enough about me. Let's first get into. Let's do the division previews here, and I'm gonna get my trusty notebook out as well. We'll put this around that so you don't even have to deal with that. Okay. Perfect. All right. Okay. So with that, and then we can edit all this shit out, I'm sure. All right. So let's go over the division preview. Okay. Some of these are very obvious. Okay? Some of these are very obvious. It's not going to take you too much time to know who's going to win these divisions. So let's go back to what we had last year. All right. So take a look at what you have last year. Okay. There you go. Patriots, overwhelmingly division winners. And 5 losses is bad for that team. A lot of people weren't sold on the Patriots, if you remember. They did a lot more running. Dolphins went 7-9, kind of a surprise. The Jets were the disappointment with Darnold. This will not go this way. This will not go this way this year. You can see, okay, division winner. Pats will win the division. That's a no-brainer. You can put your money on that. AFC East. I am predicting. There we go here. Some of this is just going to be, doesn't need to be fancy, does it? 1, 2, 3, 4. AFC North. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. New England Patriots, hands down, will be the AFC East winner. Hands down. Just added Antonio Brown. Okay. Let's take a look here at their roster. The depth chart for New England. Here we go. All right. Not so bad, huh? And they don't even have Antonio Brown on here yet. So you still got Brady, Sony Michel, James White, Rex Burkhead at 3. Pretty damn good. They throw a ton to their backs, which I'm a big fan of. And then Josh Gordon and Philip Dorsett and Julian Edelman. You can now take Philip Dorsett out. So you have Edelman in the slot, and you have Gordon and Antonio Brown as your receivers. And it doesn't even matter what they do at tight end for now. They'll get Ben Watson back. This team is loaded. It's almost not even fair. The Antonio Brown situation is not even fair. Not right. Raiders, boy, they got fucked, didn't they? What an embarrassment, that whole situation. So I am going to say that if we go and look at the Patriots' schedule, let's pull that up here. No, we got it. These are the leaders. I have so many tabs open. Okay. Maybe through, might be here, and it might be Roto World. Let's see if they give us a good, this is Roto World. All right, cool. Going slow. Full schedule. So let's see if we can pull a record out of this. Let's say they're going to beat Pittsburgh 1-0. They're going to beat Miami 2-0. They're going to beat the Jets 3-0. At Buffalo 4-0. They could literally go 5-0 by the time they get Washington. Jets. All of these are winners. If you even want to take, so the only 3 chances at losses right here really should be Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Baltimore by week 9. I'm going to go on record and say that, let's say they lose 1 or 2 of those games. So out of 9, we're going to have them 8-1, possibly 7-2. Let's say at Philly. Let's say they lose that game. Okay? And then Dallas. Here's the stretch for this team right here, folks. Philly, Dallas, Houston, KC. This could legitimately be a 2-2 situation for this team. Then they get the cupcake Cincinnati, Buffalo, and Miami. Now, they do have a hard time with Miami and Miami up here. I'm not going to call that a loss because this is one of the worst Dolphin teams we've seen in years. So you could easily say, I'm going to even go 8-1 here at the top, and then I'm going to make this a split. I'm going to say they lose 2 of these games. So with, what do you got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games out of that. They're going to go 5-2 in those 7. So it's legit to say that the Patriots this year should go 12-4. And I'm just flying through these, okay? It's legit to say the Patriots will go 12-4. Okay? Now, let's get back. So this is their, let's go back here. What do we got? Divisions. Come on, folks. We're finding it. We'll find it. Okay. So I'm going to jump. I personally think that the Jets are going to be the second place team. I think Buffalo is going to be the third place team. And the Dolphins will be in fourth. Okay? Now, we got the Jets. Let's take a look at the Jets' schedule. They got Buffalo. They've got Cleveland. They've got New England before they get a bye week. Very early bye week. I think that's terrible. It never helps a team. Early bye weeks do not help teams because what are you really resting after 4 weeks? You're not really resting. So you're not that tired. Hold on. Let me plug in here. Okay, sorry for that. So we've got the Jets. Do a little tally up here. I've got the Jets. I think they're going to lose 2 of those games. I think they'll beat Buffalo. So they're going to go 1-2 to start those. At Philly, loss. Dallas, loss. New England again, loss. Boy, they got a tough schedule, huh? At Philly and Dallas. So they get the NFC East in the draw. That's a loss. Whew. Jacksonville, boy. So we got 1-2 there. Philly, Dallas, New England. I think those are losses. I think Jacksonville's going to be a very tough game. I'm 50-50 on that one. At Miami, I'm going to give them the win. At the Giants, I'll give them the win. I think that's going to be hard. At Washington, another 50-50 game. Oakland, I'm going to give them the win. I think it's going to be tough. I'll give them the win at Cincinnati. I'm going to have them beating the Dolphins both games. At Baltimore is another loss. I believe Pittsburgh will be another loss. And I'm going to give them the win. Man, I don't know. At Buffalo, final game of the season. Their season can be on the line there. That's another 50-50 game. So I kind of see the Jets right now at 6-7. That's 13 with 3 50-50 games. At best, the Jets, at best, will be a 9-7 team. I don't see the Jets being a 9-7 team. So I'm going to say that the Jets will go 8-8, in my opinion. Okay. Buffalo Bills. Now, before we jump to the Buffalo Bills, I do want to go back to the Jets really quick and see their depth chart. Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold's good. I think he's going to have a good year. Here's what we're going to learn about Le'Veon Bell, folks. We're going to learn if Le'Veon Bell, much like we're going to learn, well, Antonio Brown, we would have learned it on the Raiders. We're not going to see it now. It's different. But, because he is going to have a big year with Tom Brady. But now we're going to see if Le'Veon Bell is as good as he is or was on Pittsburgh. If you believe he is, the Jets should take a huge leap this year. Sam Darnold needs a Le'Veon Bell. This guy catches 60 to 80 balls, folks. This guy is a great outlet, and I'm a huge fan of throwing to the backs. Everyone throws to the backs now, by the way. Everybody throws to the backs. They like Ty Montgomery they got from Green Bay. They still have Bilal Powell. This is a very deep running game. And while I'm not wild about their receivers, they're not terrible. They're very serviceable. You know what I mean? But Sam Darnold, there's teams with better. Sam Darnold, it shouldn't be, there's no reason to get the lube out for any of these receivers. And then at tight end, nothing all that great going on there either. But so that's the Jets. I see the Jets going 8-8. And then I see Buffalo being the third team. Here we go. Josh Allen. Listen, Josh Allen, for what it's worth, is not that bad. And I think this is a guy we really have to take a look at in terms of his second season. And what kind of jump is he truly going to make here in this second season? This is a guy. This is a guy that runs the ball a ton. He had some huge games with running. You didn't think this guy was probably so fleet of foot. He is. They've got 3 new running backs. Adios LaShawn McCoy. Probably tuned out in Buffalo. Not a fun place to play. Frank Gore will retire here. Did I say? I think I said it for the Bears. I think I was wrong. Am I that stupid? Did I already screw up so badly? David Montgomery. I think I said Singletary. David Montgomery. I don't even know what I said. Montgomery and Singletary. See how I can get confused. And these are both new young backs. We'll get to him in a second. They are going to go 3-headed monster. Everybody knows it for Buffalo. Buffalo will run the ball a lot between the quarterback and these 3 running backs. TJ Yeldon getting the least, obviously, the workload. These guys will run the ball a lot. As far as receivers, this isn't bad. It's not bad. They added Cole Beasley. I don't really know how much. I don't really know how much he's going to be a difference maker for this team, in my personal opinion. So going back and looking now at Buffalo's schedule, let's see what we have the Buffalo Bills doing. Okay, so let's say we have them. All right, so at New York, I'm going to say that's a loss. At the Giants, I think that's a loss. I'm going to give them a win at Cincy. They're going to lose to New England. I think they're going to lose at Tennessee, but I'm going to put that in the 50-50 column. Miami at home, I'm going to say they win. Philly, they're going to lose. Washington, I'm going to put that in the 50-50 right off the bat. At Cleveland, they're going to lose. At Miami, I think they can beat them there. I'm going to give them that win. I think Miami is that bad. Denver is a loss. Dallas is a loss. Baltimore, I don't think they're going to win that game, but I'm going to be nice and put that in the 50-50 column. At Pittsburgh is a loss. At New England, this team is not going to fare that well. They have some tough games. And I'm going to give them that Jets win, which that's a 50-50 game, really. That's a 50-50 game. I think the Jets are going to be better than the Bills. I have the Bills with a definite 9 losses, 4 wins, and 3 possibles. At best, going 7-9. I don't think they're going to go 7-9. I think that they're going to go, at best, 6-10, and maybe even 5-11. Now, let's take a look. What did they do last season? Is this a pain in the ass? Okay. Go back to standings. And 2018. Six and 10. Jets 4-12. The Jets at 4-12. That's the big jump, folks. 4-12 the year before. Patriots 11-5. Might be better. Jets way better. And Buffalo was 6-10. Miami was 7. Already messing up there. All right, 7-9. So let's take a look now as we wrap up the AFC East with Miami. Okay. And I have somebody asking me right now for some advice. Okay. Miami Dolphins. Let's take a look at this schedule. Okay. And let's run through the Dolphins. So as you know, the Dolphins went and got some quarterbacks. A lot of changes there as well. Miami Dolphins, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Josh Rosen. Quarterback battle. Couldn't make a decision on that one. They could not make a decision. And they wanted Rosen to steal that job. He couldn't do it. Then they got these two young backs. They're excited about both these guys. I am not that excited about both of these guys. But they're going to be a committee approach. They don't really know who they like more there either. A lot of people think the Dolphins are going to tank this season. There's not going to be much tanking. They're going to legitimately lose. But it's such an interesting team because they have a lot of young talent. And the receivers, it's interesting. They'll surprise some people. I just don't think they're going to win a lot of games. I do think they're going to put up points, though. I think they have a lousy defense, and I think they're going to throw a lot. So between Drake and Ballage, it's a 50-50. It's going to probably go hot hand. I don't know if it's total committee. And then the receivers, it's an interesting receiver. Devontae Parker's not bad when he's healthy. This guy's a good receiver. They go and pick up Allen Hurns. He's a junk pile guy, but he's not terrible. Jakeem Grant, they love Jakeem Grant. I think he even got an extension. And then Albert Wilson was having an amazing year until he got hurt. So it's hard to say what you're really going to get here from the Dolphins. But let's look at their season and the prediction. I see them losing opening week to Baltimore. I see them losing to New England even at home. I see them losing to Dallas, and I see them losing to the Chargers. You really can't be too surprised to watch Miami go into the bye 0-4. I'm really sorry to say. I'm going to give them the Washington win at home. It might not happen. At Buffalo, let's make that a 50-50. You may say, well, Josh, you didn't 50-50 the other one. I know, but we're just winging this as best as we can, and watch how accurate we're going to be. At Pittsburgh is another loss. Home against the Jets, I'm going to give them a win there, although it's very unlikely. At Indianapolis, I'm going to call that a loss. If it was a home game, a maybe. I'm going to give them one game, the home game at Buffalo. They're going to lose at Cleveland. They're going to lose that Philly game. Okay, at New York, they're going to lose in New York when it's cold on December 8th. Then they get to stay and play the Giants. I think that's a 50-50. Games are bad. I'm going to give them the home win against Cincinnati, and they're going to lose at New England, the final game of the season. I have them at best at 4-10 with two 50-50 games. I don't think they're going to go 6-10. So I'm going to split the difference on those two, and we're going to say that Miami goes 5-11. And I got to be honest, it might even be 4-12, but they're going to maybe sneak one. 5-11, fighting Baltimore for the bottom of the barrel. So that is my first division preview. Take a look. Take a look. Get this out of the way here. All right. We've got the Pats 12-4. We've got the Jets 8-8. Buffalo Bills 6-10, perhaps 5-11. And then the Dolphins 5-11. Now, really quick. You don't want that to fall. Really quick. Here's the over-unders. Just talking about some value. Okay. In Vegas, here you go. Buffalo, they have it 7.5. I do not believe that's true. I would bet that under. They think they're going to go 7.5. They won 6 last year. I don't believe that. Miami, they have. Now, here's where you have some value. Miami's so low, they have a 4.5. That's a distinct possibility. That's a very distinct possibility. They've got New England at 11.5, just about where they are. Very possible, 50-50. And then the Jets at 8-8. Well, here's your value right here. Look how much they have the Jets. Look how close they have it, folks. 7.5. I said 8-8. They do think the Jets are going to be on the rise. So, there you go. That is your NFC East. Excuse me. Whoa. AFC East. That's your AFC East preview. We're done. Now we'll go into the AFC North.